Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Manojavam Marutatuल्य Vegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtham Vatatmajam Vanarayutha Mukhyam Shri Ramadutam Shirasa Namami Pujantam Rama Rameti Madhuram Madhuraksharam Aruhya Kavita Shakham Vande Valmiki Kokilam Apadam Apahartaram Dataram Sarvasampadam Lokabhiramam Shri Ramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham Dakshine Lakshmano Yasya Vame Cha Janakatmajah Purato Marutir Yasya Tam Vande Raghunandanam. There is a beautiful verse that glorifies two great personalities who are very familiar with Ramayana. And the verse goes this way. Sita Rama Gunagrama Punyaranya Viharinau Vande Vishuddha Vijnanau Kavishwara Kapishwarau. So it's talking about two persons who are fully absorbed in exploring the great qualities of two persons. So the two persons who are the object are Sita and Ramachandra. And the verse says Sita Rama Guna Grama. The word grama we are used to understanding as a village or a small gathering of people. So this idea of cluster now applies to the qualities, gunagrama. So Sita Rama Gunagrama means the cluster of or the collective set of qualities of Sita and Ramachandra. Although they are Gunagrama, that collection, they're very, very deep and not so easily accessed. Okay, and they are compared to a dense forest. Punya, Aranya. These qualities are very auspicious qualities. And they are as formidable as a forest. And in this forest, two persons are constantly exploring and moving about freely. A forest is considered to be a place where there is so much in ample or amply available in terms of resources, animals, the variety, the diversity, and the intermingling of everything and still harmoniously in one place. So Sita Rama Gunagrama Punyaranya Viharinau. There are two persons who are vihara or strolling about or enjoying in that forest. One day we offer our obeisances to them, we offer our prayers. Vishuddha Vijnanav. And these two persons who are roaming around in this forest, we offer our obeisances to them because they are Vishuddha Vijnanav. They have the purest, highest, and most sacred realizations about these forest like dense, wonderful cluster qualities or cluster of qualities of Sita and Ram. Vande Vishuddha Vijnanav. And who are these two? Kavishwarav, the Ishvara among all Kavis, among all poets. Actually, the word Kavi is not just poet, it also means very profoundly erudite, profoundly devotional persons. Kavi. Lord Brahma is referred to as Kavi. So Kavi Ishvarav means the best of such thoughtful, knowledgeable persons is Valmiki Rishi. Kavi Ishvarav, and the other is Kavishwara Kapi Ishvarav, the leader of, or the lord of, or the master of all the monkeys. This is Hanumanji. It's a verse of glorification of Hanuman and Valmiki Rishi, who we follow to be able to grasp like a little minuscule aspect of the Ramayana. And that minuscule aspect is enough to flood our hearts with great joy and realizations and something to look forward to each day and each hour of the day. So we ended chapter 34, where Sitadevi is narrating to Hanumanji how she is in Lanka and the state that she is in. And she ends the chapter with this verse. Dvau masau tena me kalo jivita anugraha kritaha urdvam dvabhyam tu masabhyam tatah tyakshami jivitam. This Ravana has given me 2 months, has been very kind in gifting me or granting me 2 more months to make up my mind. Right after the 2 months, or when the 2-month period is over, I will give up my life. Hanumanji in the Ramayana finds himself, somehow or the other, in situations where people around him are about to give up their lives. He has come to Sita Devi. She has given him, she said, 2 more months, I'll be gone. He goes to Bharata, who is at the point of deciding that he's going to give up his life because the sun is going to rise in a few hours. And Sri Ramachandra hasn't arrived in Nandigrama just yet. And the vow he had made is, if that morning that ends right after the end of the 14 years, you don't show up, I will give up my life. Previously, when all the monkeys in the southern direction were not able to find Sita Devi, they had all decided to give up their life. He was there, and he inspires life. He inspires for us to become hopeful. And he's the one who nourishes us with the strength and courage to keep going a little bit more and not become despondent. And his speech, whenever he speaks, it is so calming, soothing, and elevating to the heart. And so he's that trusted person through whom one gets great assurances. So this chapter 34 begins with Tasya tad vachanam shrutva Hanuman haripungavaha dukkhad dukkha abhibhutayah santvam uttaram abravit. Tasya tad vachanam shrutva, having heard those words of Sita Devi, who dukkha abhibhutasya, who was constantly overwhelmed with sadness or grief. What did Hanuman do? Hanuman santvam uttaram abravit, spoke or responded in a very calming, pleasing, and comforting way. Santvam. And therefore, Hanuman is referred to by Valmiki as Haripungavaha, the best among, or the bull among all the monkeys. Santvam means, literally, it means one who has a very disturbed heart or a disturbed mind. Certain words completely calm such a person down. They bring peace, they bring assurance, they bring hope, they bring strength. And here the word Haripungava literally is the best among all the Haris. The acharyas like Sri Govindaraja, others, comment that the choice of words are fantastic. Hari has many meanings. It means the Lord Hari, Lord Vishnu. It means a lion. It means a Vanara or a monkey. And the word Hari means one who takes away. So Hari Pungava can be translated as the best among those who take away. The role or a function of the guru is to take away from the heart any idea of distress or suffering. And the way they take it away is by giving Santvam Uttaram Abravit, comforting, appeasing, placating, satisfying answers to all sorts of concerns that they have, that their conditioned soul can have. So here he's performing the function of guru. So Haripungavaha Santvam Uttaram Abravit. Excellent verse. That sets the tone for who Hanumanji is and what he's going to say. So he has to assure, the whole point here is she is partly trusting and to a large part distrusting, because she's been very badly burnt, if you will, by the experience of being very easily duped into thinking that someone who's dressed and someone who speaks like a Brahmana or a learned person is actually a demon in disguise. Hanuman has to overcome that for her, or help her overcome it for herself. So he says, the choice of words, the way he says, he first tells her or assures her, Aham Ramasya Sandeshad Devi Dutavas Tavagataha Vaidehi Kushali Ramastvam Cha Kaushalam Abravit. Aham Ramasya Sandeshad, on Ramachandra's order or instruction, as a messenger, Dutas Tava Agataha, I've arrived to where you are, or I've reached you. Vaidehi, O daughter of the king of Videha, Kushali Ramastvam cha Kushalam Abravit. Ramaha Kushali. Ramachandra is doing all right. And Ramachandra is asked how you are doing. Few verses ago, when she heard Hanuman's voice, and she hadn't yet seen him, or she had just seen him, she thought, oh, I've had a bad dream, and I hope that those who are dear to me are doing okay. So Ramachandra, Lakshmana, and my father Janaka, I hope they're all okay. I send all the best wishes to them. So Hanuman responds with Rama Kushali. He's okay. He's doing well. And Tvam Kushali, Tvam Kushalam Abravit. He is asked how you are, and he's hoping that you're doing well. So note the word here, Dutaha. I am his messenger. The reason I'm emphasizing is, for a couple of more sessions or chapters, we might hear the word Duta, and suddenly that will change, and we'll see why, and we'll discuss that when we get there. But make a note, mental note, that he is using the word Dutaha, messenger. And then now he says, Rama Kushali. Rama's doing okay. He's well. The question is he? Is he really well? But the point is, if he tells Sita Devi that he's miserable right now, at this point, who knows, her suffering can become even more intensified. So that's one reason. Another is he's just beginning to meet her. So first he says, well, he's well, and he has sent me as a messenger asking or hoping that you're well too. So it is, in one sense, just breaking the ice, the initial, what we say, small talk, just to get to know a person. But we have been already told by Valmiki, right in the first verse, Santvam Uttaram Abravit. So he's pacifying her. He has heard Sita Devi constantly crying, I wish Rama and Lakshmana are doing okay. I hope they are okay. I hope they have not been bruised or wounded in a battle. I hope they have not died in the process of searching for me. She's worried if Ramachandra and Lakshmana are even alive or and doing well. So the first word he says is Kushali Rama. He's doing well, which means he's alive. He didn't say he's alive because that doesn't tell much whether he's alive happily, he's alive okay, or he's just alive with diseases and wounds and body parts all broken or something. So he says Kushali, which automatically means he's alive. Because if he just says he's alive, then she might think, oh, maybe he's not. Or why would that even be a word? Why would someone say he's alive? It doesn't say much. So Kushali, he's well. Sita Devi will ask him later, really? He's doing well? When my condition is like this, is he doing well? And Hanuman will respond, well, what I meant as well really doesn't mean well like that he's somehow keeping his life and soul together, or body and soul together. So he says, Yo Brahmam Astram Vedanscha Veda Vidan Varaha Satvam Dasharathi Ramo Devi Kushalam Abravit. That Ramachandra, who's an expert at using the Brahmastra and who is the best among the knowers of the Vedas. Vedamscha Veda Vidan Varaha. Varaha means the best of, and Veda Vidam Varaha. He knows among the knowers, he's the best of the knowers. Satvam Dasharathi Ramo. Wow, what a word to use, Dasharathi. She referred to herself as the daughter-in-law of, she hasn't announced yet, but he started Ramo Dash. There was a king by the name Dasharatha. He knows that Dasharatha is someone who's Sita Devi's favorite. So he refers to Ramachandra as Dasarathi. Dasarathi Ramo Devi Kushalam Abravit. Now, when he says Dasarathi, why should he say Rama? Because Rama is such a sweet word. It is Sita Devi's favorite word. And that name, Rama, the reason we chant Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, is the word Rama, means the source of all pleasure. And Valmiki has told us that Sita Devi is Dukkha Dukkha Abhibhutasya. She is completely crushed by sorrow. So the opposite of that has to be happiness and pleasure. So constantly every line has the word Rama in it. And he's assuring her, don't worry, this Ramachandra knows how to use Brahmastra. And not just that he is all strength and no intelligence. Oh, Veda Vidan Varaha. And that Ramachandra is asking. that you're inquiring about your well-being. So Hanumanji is infusing Sita Devi with confidence. When he says Veda, 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 Veda vid, Veda Vidan Varaha, sorry, he's telling Sita Devi that Ramachandra is the best among the knowers of Dharma. And one of the Dharma is that one will always be with their spouse, especially Ramachandra will not abandon his wife. Although Kshatriya Dharma can say that he can marry someone else, but he knows the rule book of love, the rule book of commitment, and the rule book by which one gives one's life for their dear persons. So, which means that he will come for you. He will not abandon you. And because he's such a great person, he's referred to as Dasarathi, because Dasharath Maharaj is the person who went down in history to keep his word, as one who will always keep his word. And he comes in that lineage. Okay, Ramachandra is okay. But the last thing I had was a little skirmish with Lakshmana. How about him? Lakshmanascha Mahatejaha Bhartuste Anucharaha Priyaha Kritavan Shoka Santapta Shirasa Te Abhivadanam. Lakshmana Mahateja, one with so much prowess. And Bhartuhu Te Anucharaha Priyaha. Among all of the followers of your husband, he is the dearmost. And to hear that Lakshmana is the greatest follower of Ramachandra is most pleasing for Sita Devi's heart. And what has he done? Kritavan Shoka Santapta. He himself is in complete distress about you. Shirasa Te Abhivandanam. And he Abhivadanam. And he has sent his prostrated obeisances unto you. Lakshmana has no ill feelings for you. On the contrary, his mind is overwhelmed with grief and he offers his obeisances to you. He bows his head to you. Sa tayoho kushalam devi nishamya narasimhayoho priti samhrashta sarvangi hanumata tatha abravit. Hanumantam atha abravit. So now Sita Devi responded, because as soon as she heard Hanuman's words about the two Narasimhas, the lion-like men, Preeti Hrashta Sarvangi, she had so much love manifest in her heart that entire body was in complete ecstasy to hear just about Ramachandra and Lakshmana. And now she spoke, or she responded to Hanuman. She said, you know, I always heard the saying that any living being, if they are alive, even if it after 100 years, they will get some happiness, which means you have to be alive. If you're dead, you can't get happiness. So just by that I'm alive, however I'm alive, it appears that it's been such a long time I have not heard any happy words. And now that I'm hearing that adage that someday happiness will come to a person has come true. Taya samagate tasmin pritir utpadita adbhuta parasparena chalapam vishwastau tau prachakratuhu. Now Valmiki is telling us how both of them are feeling. Tayah samagate tasmin, that these two have met together. And the words of Hanuman, when they are speaking to each other, he's speaking about Rama and Lakshmana, and she's referring to Rama and Lakshmana. Pritur utpadita adbhuta. Such wonderful joy and love has awakened in both their hearts. Parasparena chalapan. So they started talking to each other. Vishwastau tau prachakratuhu. So they started speaking or conversing to each other by making each other more confident and assured. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna describes this joy between two persons when they discuss about him. Mat chitta, mad gata prana, bodhayantascha parasparam, tushyanti cha ramanti cha. They become satisfied, and ramanti cha, they become completely overjoyed. The word ramanti comes from or is related to the word Ramachandra. So this discussion, when two persons who are both in distress, or at least one is in distress, the discussion of Sri Rama Katha, under all circumstances, has to infuse at least a sense of joy, confidence, hope in each other. There's a verse from the 11th canto. Parasparanukathanam pavanam bhagavat yashaha. Mitho tushti, mitho ratihi, nivrita mita atmanaha. This is the Navayogendras, I think, speaking to, or Krishna speaking to the Navayogendra, speaking to Maharaj Nimi. I can't remember exactly, but this verse is Paraspara Anukathanam. When people speak to each other of what? Pavanam Bhagavat Yashaha. The glories, the purifying glories of the Supreme Lord. Mitho Tushtihi. They mutually become satisfied. Mito ratihi, they develop a very strong relationship and of friendship between the two. Nivrita mita atmanaha, and they inspire each other to give up things that are holding them back in the process of bhakti. Tasya tad vachanam shrutva Hanuman hariyutapaha Sitaya shoka deenayas samipam upachakrame. As they are speaking to each other and they are becoming more confident in each other, and because Sita is in such a shokaya, full of lamentation or sorrow, and Deena, in such a helpless condition, Samipam Upachakrame, Hanuman started moving slowly towards Sitadevi. That's it. Yatha Yatha Samipam, as he was slowly moving closer to her, Hanuman Upasarpati, he was scooting little and little towards her. Tatha Tatha Ravanam Satam Sita Parishankate. As he was getting closer, Sitadevi said, "Oh, that must be Ravana. He's just alluring me with sweet words. That must be Ravana." This is, if we had the time, we can talk about how within our subconscious certain impressions stick, and anyone else who express a behavior similar to the impression we have in the subconsciousness, some of us know the word called trigger. We get triggered, and in this case her distrust got triggered, and now she doubts whether Hanuman is really Ramachandra's messenger, and says, "Aho dhik dushkritam idam katitham hi yadasya me rupan rupantaram upagamya sa evayam hi Ravanaha." Oh, he's this. I'm so mad at myself that I trusted this person This is none other than Ravana, who has transformed who has changed his form and has come in a disguise. Tam Ashok, and the visual Valmiki gives us is Tam Ashokasya Shakhan cha Vimukta Shoka Karshita. Tasyam eva Navadyangi Dharanyan Samupavishat. Sama Upavishat. She just fell to the ground sitting. Have you ever seen a person who's completely sad or tired and they come home or they're at a place and they just fall to the ground like that? So Sita is completely Shoka Karshita. She has been crushed by Shoka. And all this while she's holding on to the branch of the Ashoka tree. So poetically, as long as she's holding on to the Ashoka tree, there is some semblance of Ashoka, or she's free of grief. So he says, Tam Ashokasya Shakhan sa Vimukta. As soon she left that branch of the Ashoka tree and became crushed with Shoka. And just her entire limbs became so tired and emaciated. Anavad Angi, although she had flawless limbs, Anavad Angi, Dharanyan, unto the ground, Samupavishat, she just squatted or fell to the ground, sitting. Hanumanji, when he saw, he himself became extremely sad. And he didn't know what to do. So the best thing at that point was to just offer obeisances to her. But in her sorrow, she didn't see him because she had turned her vision away from him. So he just offered obeisances and hoping that this will help restore her trust back in him. And Hanuman is just lying like that in a prostrated condition. So after a few moments, she turned and saw him. Tam drashtva vandanamanam tu Sita shashi nibhanana abravit dirghamuchhasvaya dirghamuchhavasya vanaram madhuraswara. So she turned around, saw that Hanuman was just in a prostrated position, and the beautiful moon-like faced Sitadevi sighed and spoke in Madhuraswara, sweet voice. Now the sweet voice is now because she's realizing if this is Ravana, I can't fight him. So I have to somehow convince him to not cheat me one more time. So she says, if you are that Ravana who came in a disguise previously, then please understand, this is not good for you. Na shobhanam is not good. Don't do such things because you're causing me so much distress. Bhuyaha santaptam. Bhuya santapam. Again, you're continuously again and again causing me severe distress. It is not good. Don't behave like that. You are that same Ravana who came in the guise of a mendicant in Janasthana and suddenly came to your real vicious, fearful form. You can assume any form at your own will. And you're a Rakshasa. That means night time is when you become very, very strong. It's not good for you to inflict so much pain upon me, who I'm already in distress condition. I have been fasting. I haven't slept. My condition is very, very bad. And you're somewhere, you need to be a little bit more compassionate and not play with me like this. Maybe my suspicion is not correct. And the reason is she has this back and forth. The back and forth is the conflicting emotions. She says, when this Vanara is there, although I think he may be Ravana, At the same time, I have these indications that he may not be. Because how is it possible that my mind and body feel so much happy hearing about Ramachandra in this Vanara's presence? So she's telling Hanuman, Yadi Ramasya Dutastvam Agato Bhadramastute. I wish you well, all blessings to you. May I give you my best wishes. Prichhami Tvam Harisheshta Priya Rama Katha Hime. Then I'm requesting you, please narrate or speak about Sri Ramachandra. Now, she is a very, very smart lady. She knows that Ravana does not like Ramachandra. Ravana is all about himself. He only speaks about his glory. And the way to make sure that this is actually Ramachandra's messenger and not Ravana is, she says, speak about Sri Ramachandra. For Ravana, it is impossible. For Hanuman, it is very easy. Because Hanuman is very humble. Ravana is completely arrogant and full of himself. So the way to break it is, please speak about Ramachandra. And that's one. Another is, whenever in doubt, take the mind to get absorbed in Ramakatha, because all doubts go away, right? First verse of chapter 7, Krishna tells Arjuna, just hear me. And if you hear me with your mind fully absorbed, all your doubts will go away. Gunan Ramasya Kathaya Priyasya Mama Vanara Chittam Harasi Me Saumya Nadi Kulam Yatha Rayah. That dear Ramachandra, who's very dear to me, speak about him. And speak Gunan Ramasya, speak about his glories. Remember, Sita Rama Gunagrama Punyaranya Viharino Vande Vishuddha Vijnano Kavishwara Kapishwaro. So she says, my heart is being drawn away, like how the banks of a river allow for the river to flow fast towards its destination. She says, Aho, Swapnasya Sukhataya Yamevam. I have been seeing this person sent by Ramachandra, and I think it is a dream. Because who else here will speak of Ramachandra? But is this really a dream? Well, even in my dream, if I can see Rama and Lakshmana, great. The pain in my heart will go away. Because the dream is actually my friend right now. But it cannot be a dream, because dream only comes to a person who's sleeping, and I haven't slept. So I don't think it's a dream. Plus, it is when one sees a Vanara, a monkey in one's dream, it is said it's inauspicious. But as I'm seeing this Vanara, my heart is feeling more and more joy. So this cannot be a bad omen or a bad dream. Oh, it's just possible that I haven't slept, I haven't eaten, and I've been very sad for the past 10 months. Maybe it is some sort of delusion or hallucination of my mind. Unmada vikara sa syadyam mrigatrishnika. It may be some sort of mirage. Mirage is, I'm thinking there is something when that is not there. She says, well, I don't think it is insanity. I'm not going mad. I don't think I'm hallucinating. But somehow I recognize this Vanara. Something tells me, that I'm drawn by him. So this way, Sita was considering back and forth about Ravana's strength, about Hanumanji, and she is unsure. She thinks, no, this must be Ramachandra's messenger. And thinking like this, she just fell quiet and didn't respond anything to Hanuman. She just kept quiet. Then Hanuman, because he's such an amazing personality, understood what's going on in Sita Devi's mind. Sitaya chintitam buddha Hanuman marutatmajaha Shrotran Anukulair Vachanas Tan Sampraharshayat. So again, knowing her heart, he spoke certain words that, or he spoke in such way she could hear, and those words brought a great sense of joy back in her heart. Valmiki says, Anukulair Vachana Tada. At that time, he spoke favorable words because he knew that would make her happy. What are the favorable words? Ramakatha. Always the solution to remove worry, fear, anxiety, etc., whatever it is. And one requires a favorable medium. The person who's speaking is also important. So the message and container, both are important. And if ever there is a doubt, then the message is more important. But both are very, very critically important. So one shouldn't say, oh, which one is more important? Both are important. Both are important. One without the other is hard. If nothing else, at least the message is important. And so Hanuman says, Aditya iva tejasi. He is as effulgent and bright as the sun. Lokakanta shashi yataha. And he's also like the full moon that makes the entire world happy and joyful and pleased. That's the moon. Raja sarvasya lokasya devo vaishravano yatha. Raja sarvasya lokasya. He is the emperor among all living beings. And among the demigods, he is like Kubera. Very kind, very generous. Vikramenopapanascha yatha Vishnur Mahayasaha. And among all the strong persons or valorous persons, he is none other than the greatly famous Lord Vishnu. Satyavadi Madhur Vag Devaha Vachaspatir Yatha. Satyavadi. Once he makes a promise, that's it. He will never move from that. Madhuravag Deva. And in his speech, he is so excellent as if he is Brihaspati. Vachaspati is Brihaspati. Rupavan Shubhagha Shriman Kandarpa Iva Murtiman. And when it comes to his form, his beauty, even Cupid, Kandarpa, will be put to shame. Because in her heart, he has to not only bring words of Ramachandra's strength and glory, but also that beauty that she is most attracted by. He's very careful. He shows anger to those who deserve it. And among anyone who rides a chariot, he is the best. He is the one under whom the entire world takes shelter. Sitadevi, you will see one day the consequences of Ravana's misbehavior, who deceitfully abducted you from Ramachandra. Ramachandra will soon release powerful arrows, strong arrows that will kill Ravana. So I'm here to hear your words so I may go back to Ramachandra and assure him that you are alive. So grant me that. Filled with grief from your separation, he's constantly asking how you are doing. Tvad viyogena dukkharta sa tvam kushalam abravit. Earlier he said, Kushali Rama, he's doing well. And now he says he's not doing well. Lakshmanasya Mahateja Sumitra Anandavardhana Abhivadaya, Abhivadya, Mahabahushcha, Tvam Kushalam Abravit. That great Lakshmana also is inquiring, are you doing okay? He's asking about your welfare. So all these verses end with Tvam Kushalam Abravit. Tvam Kushalam Abravit. Not only Ramachandra and Lakshmana, but Ramasya cha Sakha Devi Sugrivo Nama Vanaraha. Raja Vanara Mukhyanam Satvam Kushalam Abravit. Even Sugriva is asking about your welfare, which means you're not alone. There are a lot of loving people waiting for you. So please don't give up your life. Nityam Smarati Ramastvam Sugrivascha Salakshmanaha. Dishtya Jivasi Vaidehi Rakshasi Iva Samagata. Oh, Vaidehi. The reference to Vaidehi is at this point you're thinking about giving up your body. You are already beyond or transcended this sense of bodily identification. So don't commit that act. Ramachandra, Lakshmana, and Sugriva are constantly remembering you. Luckily, Dishtya, by providence, Jivasi, you're alive. Even though you're under the clutches of the Rakshasis. Very soon, Ramachandra, Lakshmana, Sugriva, they will all come with billions of monkeys. I am the minister of Sugriva by the name Hanuman. And I've entered Lanka after leaping over a great ocean. And I have come here stepping over the head of Ravana, which means I've jumped into Lanka. I have come with all my strength and valor to see you. Oh, Sitadevi, I am not a deceitful person as you might think. Please shake off your suspicion. Naham asmi tatha devi yatha mam avagachasi. Vishanka, remove all your doubt. Tyajata, shraddhastva, vadato mama. Please speak to me and trust me. As I speak to you, please speak back to me words of trust. With that, chapter 34 ends. And then Sitadevi says, as she heard about Ramachandra, who's the best among all human beings, she now spoke back in sweet words to Hanuman. So she asks, interestingly, now she wants to know more. That's part of the indication or symptom that she's trusting him a little bit. So she says, okay, tell me, kva te ramena samsargaha katham janasi lakshmanam vanaranam naranam cha katham asit samagamaha. Okay, where did you come in contact with Sri Ramachandra? How did you know about Lakshmana? And how is it possible for human beings and Vanaras to become friends? How is that even possible? Like, are there Vanaras? And why would Ramachandra make friends with Vanaras? I want to know. Tell me more. Okay, you say you're a messenger of Ramachandra. Okay. Yani Ramasya lingani Lakshmanasya cha vanara tani bhuya samachakshva namam shoka samavishet. Okay. Tell me, what are the bodily features of Ramachandra? What are some of the markings on Ramachandra's body and Lakshmana's? You tell me so that I can be assured that you have actually met Rama and Lakshmana, so that my mind will become appeased. The trick question, if you will, is if it is Ravana, he has no idea, has never met Ramachandra. He will not be able to glorify Ramachandra. But she also asks some, not just tell me generally how he looks. So he will say, oh, he's very tall, he's very handsome, very strong, powerful. Not like that. She will ask some very specific ones. Kidrisham tasya samsthanam rupam ramasya kidrisham katham uru katham bahu lakshmanasya cha shamsame. Please tell me, Hanuman, how does he appear to your vision? How does Lakshmana appear to your vision? She wants to know whether you've only glanced at Ramachandra, or if you are so dear, you should have been able to absorb every little tiny aspect of every limb of Ramachandra and Lakshmana. And specifically, Katham Uru, how are his thighs? Katham Bahu, how are his arms? Both Lakshmana and Ramachandra's. Tell me. She's asking about Ramachandra's thighs. Now, Hanuman, to be able to see Ramachandra's thighs means he has to be a confidential servant. The hidden meaning is she is making Hanuman recite Purusha Sukta. Because in the Purusha Sukta, we hear Brahmanosya Mukhamasit Bahu Rajanya Krutaha Katham Bahu Uru Tadasya Yadvaishyaha Padbhyagum Shudro Ajayata. So the real glorification of the form of the Lord is in the Purusha Sukta. So she is checking on him that you recite Purusha Sukta because that Purusha, that supreme person is Sri Ramachandra. I want to hear. From a conditioned soul perspective, the conditioned soul tests the Guru before accepting shelter. And the Guru tests the disciple after giving shelter. But both have to test each other. Eva muktvastu vaidehya Hanuman marutatmajaha tato ramam yatha tattvam akyatum upachakrame. Questioned by Vaidehi this way, Hanuman started describing the physique of Sri Ramachandra. He says, Jananti bata dishtya mam Vaidehi paripritchasi bhartuhu kamalapatrakshi samsthanam lakshmanasya cha. O Sita, with eyes that are big and broad and beautiful like a unfurled lotus petal, I am so happy that it is a stroke of providence that you've asked me to speak about Ramachandra and Lakshmana and their very specific markings and indicators. It is my great fortune that you've asked me to speak about them. And that is where we're going to pause for today to see what Hanuman said. The next chapter has 89 or 90 verses. And the most fantastic chapter in Sundara Kanda. So we'll have to wait another week to go through it. Meanwhile, any questions, comments? I'm hoping that I've kept you at the edge of your seat to hear the glorification of Hanuman, glorification of Ramachandra by Hanumanji. Any questions, comments, thoughts, reflections, something that you like?
Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Such a full class. It just never, it just never stops.
Radha
Yeah.
Dutu?
Yeah.
Can you be a little away from the mic because I can't hear your words? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Are you able to hear better now?
Oh, so much better.
Thank you, Prabhu. Sorry. So, why hadn't Hanumanji yet given the ring of Lord Ramachandra to gain trust of Mother Sita?
Yeah, he has the ring. He hasn't given it yet. It's coming. It's coming up soon. Is your question why he hasn't given it?
Yes, that's my question.
Oh, well. So far, we're dealing with Hanumanji as the most intelligent being. If Sita doesn't trust him just yet as the messenger, and he gives the ring, and she thinks he's Ravana, her heart will get completely shattered thinking, did he kill Ramachandra? And take away that ring. So first, there has to be trust before another from a tattva perspective. The guru doesn't give naam, or the holy name, or initiate, or we call it initiation or mantra, until the disciple is ready. So there's some initial testing going on, whether the person is a fit candidate or not. Not that Sita is fit candidate or not, from a tattva perspective. So he's first building trust so that the Sri Rama Nama message can be given.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for clarifying.
Hey Krishna Prabhu,
Yeah, Shamakun.
you just very nicely poetically said about how the guru is building trust with the disciple and then he gives the holy name. In life, uh, the relationship between two people in general, it goes up and down. Not in terms of just commitment, but in terms of the depth of the relationship too.
Sure.
So sometime maybe with our spiritual master, we would have been what you call completely overawed, enamored by his personality. We would say, yes, this is him. And as time progresses, maybe there's a distance that sometimes develops. How do we rekindle that initial trust, the dedication, and go even beyond what was there in those initial days, Prabhu? Can you elaborate further, Prabhu?
First, in the course of a sadhaka's life, if there is some down in one's relationship with one's guru, one, it should not be surprising. Second, in the sense that one should just accept that it's the natural course of a conditioned being traversing through life. Because it is natural, it doesn't mean one doesn't do anything about it. For example, for us, it's getting very cold here. We may say, it's natural. It's natural to get cold. It's natural to fall sick. That doesn't mean I don't do anything about it because it's just natural. It's expected. No, I take measures and steps to get out of that condition. But it's not a common cold. Here in this case, the condition is to assess what's going on in my heart. What are some reasons that my trust or my confidence or the relationship is weakened, at least from my side? And what do I need to do to recultivate that strength? And for each person, I'm using the word strategy or the pathway may be different. It cannot be a cookie cutter, because everyone's trust is not broken the same way, or they don't feel it's broken for the same reasons or same way. But for each person, it's individual. One needs to take the help of somebody to build that again, however that is built. But in the journey of the jiva through matter, it is completely the jiva's loss to not rekindle it back again. Those are some thoughts without too much elaboration. Hopefully you can respond back with something.
I'm just thinking through. Thank you for saying this, Prabhu. I was just thinking through. I don't have any other thoughts right now. That's all.
Even in this case, although it is initial, there is a lot of back and forth. On the one hand, she wants to trust him. She has been cheated previously. So there is a little back and forth. The one's heart, when it is genuinely infused with katha, it creates the field for receiving and holding on to the name. Nama japa or chanting of the holy name has to have the environment of katha together, not one without the other. And when one is hearing katha properly, it means that it should develop an attraction for the Lord in such a way that the calling out the holy name is stronger and more intentional and attentive. So the katha creates the environment for the holy name to take hold strongly. So all reparations come from katha, and that is why such a significant piece. Even Sitadevi says, "Kathaya, please speak to me about Sri Ramachandra, by which my heart will feel happy." And in that, she will also trust him.
And thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Our spiritual master, some way years ago, in some lecture said, whenever there is any kind of problem, people try different solutions, but the best strategy is to go back to basics. Just go back to the basic. The basic is my hearing. Chanting for some people gets really tough, but hearing, chanting, remembering, and some seva. Because seva brings or solidifies. It's like the agent that holds everything together. So back to basics would be the answer, somehow or the other.
Thank you. Thank you once again, Prabhu.
Anything else? Okay, if nothing else, thank you. Thank you for joining week after week after week. We started Sundara Kanda on December 17th of last year. And we've only come up to 35 chapters. There are about 70 plus chapters in Sundara Kanda. Some part of it will move faster as Hanuman is burning Lanka. But I somehow didn't feel that I would make justice if I went through these chapters fast. So thank you. Thank you for staying on. Thank you for week after week participating. It gives me great inspiration. It makes me look forward to being in your association each Saturday and discussing these wonderful, wonderful personalities. Sri Sitadevi, Sri Ramachandra, Lakshmanaji, and Hanumanji. We aspire to become the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of Hanuman, if we are fortunate that he will glance at us a little bit. So until then, we are hopeful, we are prayerful, and we continue to express to Sri Hanumanji that we are here, we are eager, and we are eager to take in through our ears and fill our hearts with the words of Valmiki Rishi. Jai Shri Sri Sita Rama Lakshman Hanuman Ji ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.